Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Nextlander podcast. Alex Navarro, here we go.
We keep doing them.
We got stuff to talk about. And they keep making games. They keep breaking news. They keep on churning the game wheel.
They won't let us stop, man. We can't stop. We gotta talk.
Brad Shoemaker, welcome back.
Don't know how to do anything else at this point.
There's literally nothing else I can do but talk.
I have zero value to the larger workforce beyond what I am doing here.
And some guys showed up here and delivered a mattress this morning. You know what?
What?
That's honest work.
Well,
delivering mattresses, that's honest work. This podcasting thing, I don't know.
Well, thank you very much, Brad, for queuing that up.
I think Dire Straits wrote a song about it.
I also have a mattress, and you can get a great code on a mattress. You sure you didn't get that mattress for using a code from, I don't even know the mattress people anymore. Lisa?
Lisa, sure, right. I would have said Casper, but I guess Lisa is like the original.
Like, Casper doesn't even have mattress guys, though. Casper just sends you a box and then your mattress inflates when you take it out. Like, it's the people, I guess, like the Tempur-Pedic people, maybe, they deliver stuff.
This is a Sealy. It's got springs in it.
This
was bought
Classic.
This was bought from a showroom.
Old school. I love it. Was there a box spring that the mattress went on?
Yep.
Nice. Okay.
Like a half-height box spring, though. It's kind of cool.
Wow. Well, Brad, it is great to have you back. We missed you during your travels. Hopefully your travels were safe and everything is going smoothly. You talked a little bit about it on the Ramblecast, so hopefully it has been. If you want to check it out and hear all about how vaping on planes is going down, you could listen in on the Ramblecast.
I thought I had gained like 10 pounds since I've been here, but it's only like 6 or 7, but that's still pretty bad for like less than 2 weeks, I think.
You get 2 pounds just by stepping off an airplane in the regional South. Like they just add 2 pounds to you when you do it.
There's just like vaporized lard in the air here.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to assume you did not
fried air.
You did not bring your scale from home, so I'm assuming there must be some calibration. There could be some calibration issues.
That's probably it.
Yep. You're on a different ley line, or the mass. You're at a higher point, lower point.
I do think the gravitational pull of the South is slightly higher.
I had to the only reason I let my belt out was for comfort, of course.
Did you make like a big old exasperated?
There's like clothes I brought with me that I maybe am not wearing so much anymore.
Fair.
That I was wearing 2 to 3 weeks ago.
I mean,
listen,
look,
it's summer in the South. You should be wearing nothing but cabana wear.
Yep.
Take the comforts you can, right? Enjoy. I also had a little decadence over the last week, and I'm trying to claw my way out of it when we were off, and was like, just stopped keeping track. You know how that goes? You just stop kind of like, you know, when you mentally are constantly keeping track of everything you're putting in your face, and then you're like, it's 10 o'clock. I'm putting something in my face. I have stopped.
Yep.
Well, we are back. We have a lot actually to talk about this week because we have some new games coming out. Some things that we have not talked about yet, and some things we're going to catch up on. But first, Brad, any news? I know sometimes you get exposed to the younger set out there.
Oh, yes.
What is up? What have you found out in your reporting?
The children.
What are the children up to?
I started getting into this on the Ramblecast, but it's like actionable market research, I feel like. So I'll talk about it here. I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not here to advance any kind of agenda for or against any specific company.
Okay.
I am not prognosticating about the long-term prospects of the Switch 2 or anything here.
Okay. Let me
hang on. I'm calling Nintendo.
Yeah.
I'm calling the cops. So they will come to your house,
Brad, and maybe alleviate some of your fears. Nintendo's doing very well with the Switch 2.
Like the Switch 2 is the fastest selling console in history as of right now. Like, you still can't get it. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
That said, let's see. I was around a 6-year-old, 2 8-year-olds, a 15-year-old, a couple of young 20-somethings.
Okay,
that's a good spread.
Good spectrum.
And so the younger kids are still very excited about the Switch 1. I was expecting to have a Switch 2 when I came out here, so that was like not having one was kind of a surprise in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
B, I was expecting them to like run up to me the second I got here and be like, "Hey, can we see your Switch 2? We want to play it." Like, can I,
Yeah.
The younger kids never even so much as said the word Switch 2 the whole time I was here, and I'm not sure they even know it exists. Like,
do the younger kids have their own Switch One?
They have Switch Ones that they are still very happy with, and like the game they were playing the most was Battlefront 2, like the old one, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Like the
hell
port.
yeah, okay.
That game had a big resurgence in recent years.
This is the one from the original Xbox from like 20 years ago. That got ported to the Switch. I'm not talking about the one that DICE made like in 2017. I'm talking about Xbox Battlefront 2. That's all they wanted to play.
Okay.
So the younger kids didn't even know about it. The 15-year-old, I asked her because she's like pretty deep into Tears of the Kingdom right now, so she like plays Switch games. Like this was not just a hey, what are your friends into kind of thing. Like she's aware of it. But I was like, does anybody you know talk about the Switch 2 or want one or anything? She was like, nope, not at all. Like not remotely.
Interesting. Okay.
She also very much had that mentality of like, it's just another Switch. Like,
ooh,
who cares if the graphics are a little bit better, whatever.
Okay.
Yes.
How about the 20-somethings?
They play entirely on PC at this point.
Wow.
Like everything is, and also way into Claire Obscure. Way into Claire Obscure.
One of us. Did they I don't mean to turn you against your family, but were they evangelizing that you should play Claire Obscure?
100%. It's like the first thing they said when they saw me at the family get-together was come up to me and ask if I had played Expedition 33.
Incredible.
I can't escape this. I'm on vacation. Just leave me alone.
No. They did allow that the fandom of that game is maybe getting a little bit much, though.
Okay, fair.
In fairness, but they're way more into like JRPG. You know, like they're. I wouldn't expect them necessarily to be looking for a Switch 2 right now. It's like that's not the type of games they play. But still, like it was just like the entire spread of people younger than me that I know in this family that play games. Like no real awareness of it, which was shocking to me.
What was their reaction when you dropped "But Dragon Drive"?
I didn't quite, I didn't know how to pronounce it at the time. So
that was the problem.
Didn't want to faux pas at the barbecue.
I like this man on the street anecdotal checking in. I'll add a little bit that my son's big Nintendo friend is very into the Switch 2. Has been talking about cornered me in the library when I went to go in there, asking me about Donkey Kong. Corrected me when I said, "Oh, that comes out on Friday." I said, "No, it comes out on Thursday." I was like, "Okay, fair." And has been very excited for Pac-Man, the Shadow Labyrinth and stuff.
Really?
So, yeah. From I think because of that Netflix.
Amazon.
Is it Amazon? Yeah. Okay. But aside from that, I can also say not too much Switch 2 exclusive hubbub about. Did you happen to check in any retail stores around you to see if they have them on the shelves?
Not in person. Maybe I should have. I haven't really had the time for it, but like I've been looking online here and there and everybody's still sold out pretty consistently.
Okay. So what we kind of mentioned before too, when you were bringing that up, despite some of the anecdotal stuff, Switch 2 selling, like you said, hotcakes.
Oh yeah. I bet it's like multiple years probably before it gets to the point where it's just like out there sitting on shelves and not selling at capacity.
I'd say minimum of a year.
Maybe probably not at least until next year sometime.
You mean until you I guess the
just walk into a store and they're there.
Yeah, right. The actionable thing is like you can take your time. You don't have to be
like basically the point at which they no longer are selling them as fast as they can make them.
Right. Or like scalpers aren't scooping them all up to resell because of inventory problems. There were some sales data coming out. I think, sorry if I get this wrong, Brad and Alex.
Circana?
Is it Circana through, I saw it through Matt Piscatella? Is that the?
Yeah, he works for them. Yeah, Circana used to be NPD, which was like the, sales data firm of record.
And it seemed like Circana had some stuff out there basically reporting not only on the Switch 2 selling extremely well, historically well, but also on some of the games that you might expect to go along with the Switch 2, like Mario Kart, which I guess I don't know. It's hard for me in the bubble here to know who's buying the Switch 2 without Mario Kart. Do they count the pack-in as a digital sale for Mario Kart at that point? Like I don't know how this
matter.
Yeah, that doesn't really matter. It's doing great.
No one is saying specifics because no one says specifics about these kinds of numbers anymore. It's just like, is it doing well? It's doing well.
From what we can tell here, or from what I can tell here, or interpret from the numbers, the tea leaves, the Switch 2 seems to be on pace to supplant the Switch 1, and it will be a Switch 2 future for Nintendo. Not a we still have to support the Switch 1 because the Switch 2 didn't sell enough, right? So
yeah, I mean, I think that the very long-term question is, will it get to the numbers the Switch 1 has done, just because those are such historic numbers? But
right, fastest selling doesn't mean a long tail selling.
Yeah, what's the tail, I guess, is, But that's like 5, 6, 7 years away.
I'm going to transition here because it feels like a good point to transition. If Donkey Kong Bananza is any indication, I think the Switch has a bright future in front of it. I think that game is pretty good. I don't know if I love that game, but I think that game is very enjoyable and it is pretty good.
I might be willing to go so far as to call it great. Maybe not superb.
Yeah.
Maybe not prime, but I think it's pretty great.
Wow.
It's not perfect.
Yeah, I don't think it's perfect, but I think it's pretty great.
Is that an 8?
To be like, I like if I were just to review it now, which I wouldn't because I'm nowhere near finished with it, but it's feeling like in the 8.5 range for me, a solid like 4.5 stars.
To answer your question about the GameSpot review scale, 8 is great, yes, or 8 was great.
8 is great.
It's always easy to remember. 8 is great. 7 was good, and 8 was great, and I forget what 9 was.
9 was superb.
And 10 was perfect for a long time.
And then it became prime.
Sorry, did you say this right? 7 was fair?
7 is good.
7 was good.
I think 6 was fair.
6 was fair. 5 was mediocre. 4 was poor. 3 was bad. 2 was terrible. And 1 was abysmal.
Man, wow. I could not
0?
have pulled all of those out of my hat.
I
was reviews editor for like 4 or 5 years. So
fair. Oh, sorry. Great. Superb.
Yeah.
Anyway, Donkey Kong Bonanza is very, very good, if not great.
Is this the first podcast you've talked about it on?
Yeah.
You hadn't played it last week? Okay.
No, we streamed it last week, and that was, I think, the first time we'd really spent significant time with it.
Yeah, so I'm pretty deep in. My daughter's been playing. I've been playing. We've been playing parallel. Sometimes we play together in that co-op mode. I think that co-op mode is interesting. It's
not great.
Did you try it? It's like it can make things a little too hectic on the screen if somebody's just spamming. It's Pauline basically just shouting and destroying blocks, and it could really.
It gets a little cacophonous, is what I found.
It's a little intense.
Is she in the world? Is she a character you can run around and control in the world?
She's
or is
on
she
top of you.
Oh, is she sitting on his shoulder or something like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So you can, I think as Pauline, you can move the camera independently or steal control of the camera if you'd like to aim a little better. It is an assist mode. It does make things slightly easier, especially on boss fights. But
that's more of what it is. It's not like a true co-op experience.
But that game is not difficult.
No.
And I am not saying this because I am some elite gamer, whatever they call sweaty gamer. I don't whatever they call the gamers now that are good. I'm not that. This game is not difficult at all. I think
particularly.
I have died on some platforming. I have died because there's BS in this game that takes it from great to good for me, and that BS mostly manifests as like, does anybody like levels that have poison or freezing water? Or what is the other lava? Like, come on, man! Like when I'm platforming in this game, I don't want to fall in the poison. What?
These are literally the staple diets of platformers. Like these are the fundamental food groups of platformers.
Yes, you are basically saying, Vinny, you're playing a platformer. Like, relax a bit.
And not a particularly challenging or punishing one.
So the thing that gets in my way, there are a lot of great things about this game, but
let's get the grievances out of the way.
The things that get in my way, because the mechanics of this game are fundamentally fantastic. You can basically bash your way through so much of the geometry in this level until you hit what is essentially bedrock or unbreakable
bed metal,
material.
One of the two.
And it's a design thing where they're like, hey man, you're not going all the way through the world. Stop.
Yeah.
It's
you have to have some limits.
Or people need to stand on a thing. So like you can't break this. But occasionally later on, you will wind up in situations where you're just busting through stuff and you'll break into lava and you'll just be like, crap.
And you just die?
You take damage, but you take a decent amount of damage. There are some mitigating factors. You can put on certain accessories that mitigate poison or cold or whatever, but you do wind up in situations where you can just be breaking stuff and just bust through a wall, and on the other side of it is some kind of a damage-inducing thing.
Right.
It's not the worst thing. I'm not saying it's a game breaker. It's just frustrating sometimes when you're on low health or little health. it can happen. And I've died a couple of ways that way.
How does the destruction just like feel?
Very good.
Is it really
incredibly
like
easy and satisfying?
Is it just like wanton? You're just bashing everything everywhere, like going nuts, like completely ridiculous.
So not only is it that, and this is why I think this game really succeeds in the end, is it's not just that. Very early on in the game, they give you the first upgrade ability, which is turned into like Super Kong, and then you are really just bashing everything. So like when you're regular Donkey Kong, you're pretty strong and you can break a lot of stuff pretty quickly,
especially once you start leveling them up.
Well, yeah, when you use your ultimate that first Kongzilla thing they give you, I forget what it's called, your Kanangza, whatever it is, you really you're one punching through most of the stuff and just tearing ass. And the game is so forgiving. You are building that meter up almost immediately as you're draining it. So you could just stay in that mode.
Yeah. It's just gold that fuels it, right? And there's like gold everywhere.
It kind of depends on what, again, accessory you have. You can change that to be, hey, you'll also gain the Bananza meter if you're breaking up debris or hitting enemies. You can change some of that stuff. Either way, you're basically always have a full meter. Unless there's a particular reason you do not, let's say. I have had situations where I have to like spend 30 seconds to fill up the meter. But that mode really is very satisfying, Brad, to answer your question. Like the breaking up. Camera, for the most part, they do a pretty good job. It can get a little lost and fiddly if you're underground. They basically just say, screw it, you could just see through the world.
Yeah, they're pretty good about like making it transparent when you're stuck somewhere or you're in a place where the camera is very up close. It's not always perfect, but literally, if you just keep punching in a direction, eventually you'll find your way out.
The game is designed very well, I think. Yeah. Like when you're underground, jumping up just breaks the blocks above you. He just punches up, and so you can get out of a hole very easily. You're not like fiddling around trying to like find your way out of this hole you dug. You just break your way back up. It's very forgiving. The game is extremely forgiving on all fronts, I have found. Even when you die, I think it costs 500 gold when you die. I have 25,000 gold at this point.
Yeah, like, they're very
the economy's the gold economy is broken.
You basically have universal basic income with this game. Like there is just never not money for you.
You get balloons if you wind up diving off a cliff or something. You can have balloons that basically stop you from dying and bring you back up.
I have like 25 balloons stored up right now.
So like it's a very forgiving game. The places I have died are mostly me doing some of the extra puzzles where the platforming gets a little more challenging, maybe, or stuff like lava where I'm just goofing off and like Another criticism I have, minor, is there are a lot of buttons on the controller for this game, and I do wind up fiddling around and even now, hours and hours in, hitting the wrong button occasionally, of being like, oh, it's grab the rock and then hold it down to throw it, and I still hit left trigger to aim that thing. It's just there's some
never
fiddly
rolled on purpose.
You have okay.
I have rolled many times. It has never been on purpose.
Or like surfed. Yeah.
You guys using the new Pro controller for this?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
How was that? Fun?
Feels good.
Yeah. I mean, feels very similar to the old Pro controller.
Yeah, I mean, it feels very similar to the Pro controller, but the main thing is the control scheme does not make my hands hurt because there is a lot of repeated punching, a lot of stuff you are doing, and like the general controls are like comfortable and they work, and everything is very snappy in that game.
Yeah, and it's not like one of those spaghetti finger games where I feel like I have to hit 7 buttons at a time. It's mostly just like the control scheme itself just feels, it's like slightly off kilter from where I want it to be, where I hit the wrong button, like mentally. And I think you can change some of that. I'm trying to get more and more used to it. But again, the game is do forgiving that it's not like the timing is so tight I need to go change it or anything like that.
Do they do a lot with mechanics? Because like that's the thing that I feel like has set Nintendo platformers, or at least Mario games, apart from other platformers for the last like 15 years. Is that like I played a lot of Mario 3D World with the young children on the Switch on this trip, and I was reminded like every level in that game has got something different going on. You know, like they put so much work into coming up with unique little gimmicks and like, granted, this is not exactly the same kind of game because those levels are very small and self-contained. But like, is it? I guess what I'm asking is the whole game just smashing shit, or do they come up with more interesting stuff to add to the mix?
There's definitely platforming challenges and other things going on. Like sometimes it's combat challenges, sometimes it's specific, like, climb the monkey bars or this, the ceiling screen and dodge and punch your way around this stuff. But I mean, the core mechanic of Donkey Kong punching at everything, I think, is generally
that's
the main thing for
okay.
everything you do.
Okay, because like taking Odyssey as the example, which I guess like this is purportedly the same team, right? Like Odyssey had like,
it feels like it. It does.
Yeah, it is very Odyssey-esque.
Like Odyssey, like every level had different types of enemies to possess, like New Donk City was its own weird thing that was unlike any other level, like there was a lot of variety in that game, but it sounds like this might be a little more focused on the destruction part.
So the way I think this maps more to Odyssey is you're basically breaking into the core of the world, right? And there are sub-layers, and basically every major sub-layer, let's say every 100, is a new themed world, kind of like Odyssey, where like this is the snow world, this is the lava world, this is the, and then every major, usually for shorthand's sake, argument's sake, every major world has a new main ultimate ability that is a mechanic in the game. So, there, I think I've got my 4th now. I think there might be 5 total according to the tech tree. So like you then use that to traverse some of the puzzles in that world at some point. And there'll be, it ranges from flying to running fast to the one I have now is absolutely my favorite and broken. I'll let people discover it on their own. But like when I got to the elephant layer, let's say, I was like, there's no way I'm just not using this one all the time. This feels amazing. So the that's kind of the putting the hat, the new enemy on. Donkey Kong literally transforms into another thing and then has a new ability, and you can switch on to those on the fly. Again, extremely forgiving. Even when you have it popped on one of the abilities, you can change to another ability, and the meter doesn't even reset. Like you just are in that other ability. It's kind of amazing. And so that's. That and the characters feel very Odyssey as well. Like you hit hub cities inside the world where you then go talk to people, be like, we'll sell you clothes, we'll sell you this, we'll sell you. It's got that Odyssey vibe. Do you want to teleport around the map? Bring up the map and teleport the points on the map. You're collecting these the golden bananas, which are basically just the localized, the golden bananas are more like the stars, I guess, and then the fossils are the localized coins in Odyssey.
Yeah, the fossils are the thing you use to customize yourself.
Yeah. Do you remember like the currency per world in Odyssey, right?
Yeah.
Like, this one has shells instead of blue. Yeah. So
Can I just mention one thing you mentioned there? One thing, it's not like this is the greatest application of this I've ever seen or anything, but I do have to give credit. Their 3D map is real good. Like it's
pretty good in a tough situation.
Yeah, like it's very good at indicating where like hidden stuff where it is, and like the way it just sort of zooms back from the level into the map screen like is pretty slick, and I feel like I got to give him credit. It's not a game that needs a lot of like tight map work, but it's very helpful.
I use it more than I thought I would from playing this game, and I will again. I don't think it's S tier, but I would say it's up there.
I think the map is A tier.
I think it's A tier, especially for what it has to handle.
Yes,
for a lot of like weird.
We're really getting into like the nitty gritty of like what scoring system, tiering system. Like we haven't done this in years, guys.
But I think this game deserves more credit than on the technical side for what it's doing than maybe anywhere else, in my opinion, because breaking through the geometry, planning through that stuff, it is a mess of a mechanic to unleash around on your world, and I think they handle it really well. I think camera stuff, like building levels that can be destroyed, tunneling through things, building challenges that rely on having idiots just circumvent the entire challenge.
Yeah.
Like it's fun in ways. Like I have gone around I have Indiana Jones, like where he just shoots the guy after the that comes out of the thing with the sword, right? Mm-hmm. I have done that to a couple of challenges at this point, because you can the path branches at some point where it's like you can do this one first or this one first.
Right.
And I went, okay, I'm going to do this one first, which gave me ability to fly for a bit. And then when I went back to the other one, I'm like, I'm just going to fly over your level now. I know you have this entire complicated platforming thing in front of me, but I can also fly. And so it's just like, my daughter was watching me and she's like, she had done it the other way. She's like, you have to go around this thing. Watch out. You got to go around this. And then I just fly to the other thing. She's like, Dad, you ain't playing the game. but I'm like,
no, you're learning the speedrun strats.
But I'm enjoying it. Not to say that you should do that, because then you wind up going back to collect all your bananas, which are your talent tree upgrade points.
Yes, you do need the bananas.
A talent tree in this game, which gets you new abilities or upgrades current ones.
It is by no means the most elaborate or in-depth talent tree I have seen in any modern video game. It is a pretty low-key one by modern gaming standards, but there is one. Donkey Kong having one at all is sort of novel in its own way.
Yeah, it's so un-Nintendo-like, or un-Mario-like at least.
Yeah.
Although I guess like Wonder had the equipable, like whatever their badges or whatever they were, like you could equip abilities. It was not quite the same thing, but like
I
even
forgot
that also felt.
Ask me what I remember about Wonder.
So I mean, this is a little weird too, because it does have the separate talent tree, which is like, do you want more health? Do you want to be able to break certain terrain faster? Do you? Some of them are actual straight up abilities. Do you want to just get this new ability? But then on the clothing, this is different than Odyssey. On the clothing you can equip, there are perks to the clothing, like, hey, take 20% less damage from this thing. Pauline also has a clothing set, which also can give perks as well. Donkey Kong has a tie separate from the pants. Those are two things.
And you can also change his fur color.
But I don't think perks are associated with it. I think that's purely
you can
cosmetic.
just make him green for fun, which is what I did. Fun.
Yeah. So it's like a little systems heavy, not heavy.
Not heavy. It has more systems than you would expect.
It has a system in there, but at its core, it is fun to break the stuff, though I have found parts of it to be a bit tedious. I have found some of it to be like, there are so many bananas to find that, as you're running around, you have a little sonar, like radar thing you can ping. You are just getting bananas all the time. It's 5 bananas per upgrade points. Sometimes they come in bunches of 3, like a banana might. Sometimes they come in bunches of 5.
So bananas, to take the Mario analogy, like bananas are the coins.
Well, it's your upgrade
currency. The stars, really.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's 5 bananas per 1 skill point, right? So
I see.
But
they are the primary thing you are after.
Like Mario 64 style stars, you mean? Like they're
hidden in the level.
Well, we were talking about there being bunches of bananas. That's not quite the same thing.
Let me put it this way. Like the big bunches are usually the ones you get when you either beat a boss or you come into a new area or something like that. Yeah. Single bananas or like 3 individual bananas hidden in a challenge level or something like that. That's the way in which I think they're most analogous to stars.
Yeah, I guess if you're doing the star thing, it's like finding a piece of a star, right? And you need 5 banana pieces to make 1 skill point,
Sure.
And then, but when you beat the level, you just get the whole star, And
again, every time you do it, no matter how many bananas there are, you get the voice sample that says, "Oh, banana.
Oh, banana.
Oh, banana."
The story stuff is like,
it's dumb. Whatever.
It really is. It really is like,
who cares? I mean, it doesn't matter. Okay, there's an evil fucking monkey fracking corporation. Yeah. They are turning people into rocks for some reason. Hey, Donkey Kong, go punch into the center of the earth. There's your story.
It is enough for me to feel fun, because to make it more fun in the background, because there is this thing that is supposed to be happening in the background. But in this case, Donkey Kong really is just Doom Guy, like 2016 Doom Guy, where it's just like, it doesn't matter. You're just going to punch and break all this stuff anyway.
Good. And Pauline is like the scientist that keeps telling Doom Guy about all the stuff that's going on and what's happening, and Donkey Kong's like, banana.
Sir Pauline, you can spend some money to get little houses, like checkpoint houses within the level, and when you rest there, Pauline does the like, hey Donkey Kong, what you thinking about? Do you ever thinking
about gorilla stuff?
Totally. Do you ever think about when you break stuff, are we breaking, or is just like weird, like nighttime thoughts of like, it's really cold down here and you don't wear shoes. I guess we shouldn't think about it. Anyway, good night, Kong.
The Pauline stuff seems like the most divisive thing for a lot of people with this game. I don't really get it. She's fine. Like, the performance is fine. Maybe people just don't like having a tag-along 13-year-old girl with them, but like, I don't mind it in the slightest. It's a weird application of that character, but at the same time, if they're going to do something with her and it's not just have her be the damsel in the game, sure, this is as novel an application of it as anything.
I haven't beaten the game, though. I think I'm pretty far in, or I feel generally far in. They keep building her up as being this. Well, I mean, first she starts off. This is not a spoiler. This is just it
literally happens at the beginning of the game. Yeah,
she's in like a rock, right?
And she is a rock, I think.
Or she is a rock, and she like hatches it basically out of it. And they build her up as having this special singing power, but really it's a little frustrating and annoying because every time you get a power, she's like, oh no, I can't sing in front of people. And then Donkey Kong beats his chest, and then she's like,
then she just goes off.
Here I go.
Yeah.
And it happens like pretty much every time you get a new power. Sometimes she's a little less reluctant, but that's Pauline's character basically is I have stage fright.
Yeah. I'm a 13-year-old with social anxiety.
Yeah. And she sings, and the unbreakable Void Coast stuff that's in the level starts to disappear. That's how you use Pauline as a mechanic in the game. But really, you're there for Donkey Kong and breaking stuff, and that's super fun. He can lift stuff out, throw stuff. There are different materials in the game that do different things. Some of them are extremely fun. Some of them are pretty, pedestrian, like earth, like you just pick up earth and throw it. Some of them do really wild things that, again, I'm not going to spoil, but they're fun to just mess around with. So far, having a good time. I got a little burnt out, and I need to take a break in places because the loop is fairly basic. You're breaking stuff.
Once you start doing a thing in that game, that's more or less what you will be doing in a lot of that game, from what I can tell.
And the boss is on. I don't even know if there is a difficulty mode. I think there's an assist mode if you want, which I think maybe lessens some of the damage you take. But I'm playing on normal. Really, like Brad, I cannot
cakewalk.
I cannot express this to you enough. It is like you broke the game. I don't know. The bosses just feel like you walk in there and like 10 seconds could go by and you have beaten some of the bosses.
They kind of feel like not the point.
It's definitely not the point.
Yeah.
But I think I beat one on stream or something, and they're like, that's weird. That went too fast. I don't understand how.
I beat that first boss in about 15 seconds.
It's weird, right?
Does it have difficulty levels?
So I think there is an assist mode. I think that's the only difficulty level in there.
Okay.
And I think that's just the thing where you might take less damage, I think, if you turn that on. But it, like you said, Alex, it's not the point.
No.
The challenge is not the point.
The point is the destruction. And the destruction, I think I said this on our stream of it, like, that game must have been an absolute fucking nightmare to QA because so much of the terrain is deformable. There's so much gold and chests and other bric-a-brac just jammed into every dirt part of the world. And, like, it all seems to work pretty well. Every once in a while, you see a little animation glitch or a frame rate dip or something like that. The camera gets a little wonky, but it never fully freaks out. And for the amount of deformity there is in that game, that's pretty great. Like, it's pretty awesome to just feel like I can do whatever, and the game is not going to start smoking on me.
Yes, and I'm having a lot of fun. And again, like, you see a laser grid, a timed laser grid in front of you, right? It's a platformer. Lasers go on, lasers go off, lasers go on, lasers go off. You can get the timing, or you just dig underneath them and just pop up the other side.
Just punch the wall that laser grid is on. Maybe it comes down. Who knows?
Yeah, it comes down.
Sold. Yeah, extremely sold.
So that part's super fun. And the only thing that could make this better, this is a very different game with a very different piece of hardware, are physics. There are no physics in the game. Blocks float in the air, right? Like, as you go underneath.
It's
them.
that thing where you take away the base of a giant rock formation and it still hovers.
That's what I was just about to ask. Like with the laser grid thing, is like, will the lasers just start pointing every which weird way as the emitter tumbles, or they just sit there and
they might blow up or something?
That's
but this is
less
not
interesting. But
yeah, what is the?
It's not
what is
Red
the
Faction, like that's not what they're trying to do.
Or the voxel game.
They didn't license geomod technology.
No.
What's the voxel one where you do the heist?
Oh shit!
With the propagating fire in it too.
Yeah,
you plan out your heist and then you break everything into pixels.
No, I know the exact game you're talking about.
I don't know.
We've streamed it.
Yeah, you've definitely.
Teardown. Teardown. That's
yes.
it.
It is not Teardown. It is not like
it's not trying to be.
Yeah, there was one thing I did that was like, hey, you have to break down this tower you should do it fast. There are mini challenges you could do for extra bananas, and one was like, tear this tower down in like 20 seconds, and you should do it by breaking the support columns. And I was like, hell yeah, this is what I'm talking about. But then the whole building just exploded after the thing. So, right, it would be kind of fun if there were physics in it, and
way better.
Yeah, and stuff were collapsing, but like, again, the horsepower involved in that and design is a very different game than what this is. So, It's a very good game. Again, arguably a great game, but also a good showcase, I think, for the Switch too. Like, if this were a launch game, we talked about some of this before.
It's launch window. It counts.
It's launch window. This is a good reason, I think. I think this is the best reason, I will even go as far to say, to own a Switch 2 at this point, if you have already played something like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom.
I don't blame them for doing what they did, launching the console when they did, considering a lot of the uncertainty around broadly everything. That said, I feel like that launch would have hit a lot harder if this game had been there on day one.
I think it's strong enough. I think it's strong enough to be... Mario
it's not
Kart's,
a 10 out of 10 game, but it is absolutely the kind of thing you can pin to a console and say, this is worth getting for.
Because it shows off the console well with the destructibility. It's one of those things that's
you could not do this on a Switch 1.
It feels like that, yeah. So that's Donkey Kong Bonanza, $70, right?
Yes.
That is the going price.
I don't know how long
Bonanza.
it is. I don't get the impression it is a super long game.
I thought I was nearing some kind of not conclusion, but because the skill tree has some empty spots on it. But I don't know. My feeling based on the skill tree and where I am is maybe I'm 75% done with it. So I think I have one more Bonanza to unlock, and I'm very curious. I mean, those are just fun. So we'll see what happens.
They made Donkey Kong fun.
Yep. That's Donkey Kong Bonanza out on the Switch 2 now. If you have a Switch 2, I recommend it. I think it's a fantastic game.
Have you seen Funky Kong yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
I'm run into him yet.
No. Cranky.
You would know if you ran into Funky Kong.
I don't think I ran into Funky.
Okay.
I ran into Cranky.
I haven't either. I did pop when I saw Cranky Kong, but I have not seen Funky yet.
I think Cranky might be in every level. He'll give you a banana.
Yeah, he's there to complain about something every time.
Yeah, he's Cranky. I still don't understand what the Kong economy is.
The economy.
Yeah, thank you.
Please do not try to pick it apart. It's all nonsense.
I'm an economist.
Yeah.
I subscribe to the economist.
Mm-hmm.
Are Kongs a species? Are they apes?
It doesn't matter.
Is it a family name?
The enemy is like Grumpy Kong and Poppy Kong.
But then there's also like the underground Kongs, which seem like maybe a different lineage of Kongs. Then there's the Diddies, which, is a whole other thing.
And the Diddy Kong has a tail, so Diddy Kong's a monkey.
Yeah, a monkey and a gorilla are not the same thing.
But
I don't think Nintendo knows or cares about that.
I'll wait until the Kong Historia and the timeline split. You know?
Wait until they try and figure out where this falls within the Pauline timeline, okay?
All right, we're going to take a break. We come back and talk about some other things we've been playing that are not Donkey Kong right after this. Stick around. All right, we are back. Another new game out there, available on your Switch if you'd like. Shadow Labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
This is in the
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
It's a Pac-Man-vania.
So
literally, actually, it's I mean that more. Even I have not played a ton of it, but I actually mean that more literally than I expected to.
So we talked a little bit about it before in the show here. Even there was that Amazon. Is that what we decided on? Amazon series, the one where they did the shorts for the different video games.
Yes, I think that was Amazon.
Yeah, I can never remember what that was called, but they did like a Mega Man one, right? And
did a bunch. Generally, they were pretty good. I thought the Pac-Man one was super duper weird, but maybe less weird now.
Yeah, because this game's also fucking weird.
And this is like you, Brad said. I mean, it is I give them kudos for the imagination they have put into spinning a Pac-Man world that is really tangentially related to Pac-Man.
I have no idea what to make of all the non-Pac-Man parts of this. There's like ancient giant robots and like buried memories and a crashed ship, and like it's just like a whole ass sci-fi universe that just happens to have this little floating ball. It's basically a 3D Pac-Man that is floating around, following you around, named Puck, that talks to you and then possesses you and eats the bodies of bosses, it seems like, to give you powers.
So that's what it seems like in the short. It's pretty dark, and it's kind of a similar thing, maybe a little less of the mech stuff that starts off this game in the short, but it is definitely a sci-fi world where you're this kind of host, and you get this sense in the short that there is a loop going on. There's some kind of
okay.
Yeah, you are. There have been many trials. And,
got it. Okay.
In the short, it is you have to kill and eat the enemies to gain power, and Pac-Man or Puck is trying to escape some prison, right? That's in this game as well, right? There is that like, we're getting out of here finally. You're the 8th or whatever in the game, right? Like,
yeah.
But this game starts with a giant mech suit or robot fighting some
like other giant robot thing.
As all good video games do.
It's almost like, I don't know if this is quite the comparison. I don't have enough experience to say this, but is it almost sort of like Gundam-like or something? It's like a giant fight. It's like a giant. It's like a giant war in space going on. You know, like there's a very large conflict taking place in space with big robots and stuff.
And like some piece or soul or something gets ejected and then winds up on this planet in this labyrinth, and you are, like Brad, you just said, now hitched to this Pac-Man figure as you then Metroidvania. I've only put in like even an hour, not even that much, into the game. So I've gotten past the first boss, which is very early on, gotten the first ability, which basically turns you into a Pac-Man game as you ride the D-line.
Yes. So I'm a little bit past where you are, not too much, but yeah, like you turn into like actual Pac-Man pretty quickly in this, which kind of seems like their equivalent of the Morph Ball from Metroid.
Yeah.
But yeah, you like activate
on the magnetic rails,
right? You activate like parts of the level design can be like electrified and turn into a D-line.
D-line.
As soon as you touch that, even if it's like vertical on a wall and you jump into it or step on top of it or whatever, you just turn into Pac-Man.
And it goes.
And then when you pick up pellets on that thing, it is literally just makes the unmodified sound of Pac-Man eating a pellet from Pac-Man.
Yep.
Like I kind of laughed out loud the first time I heard that. It's really weirdly out of place. Because the rest of the game's got this like sort of haunting atmosphere, you know, everything's very mysterious and secret past and stuff. And then you just turn into Pac-Man and you start eating pellets, and it sounds like eating pellets in Pac-Man.
It's ridiculous.
In a Metroidvania.
And,
it's weird.
You're opening up checkpoints. There are some winky naughty stuff of just like, this thing stores your memory. I'll call it a checkpoint or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, like and you're getting what seem like upgrade materials. I've already hit, even in a little bit I've played. Surely you've hit it as well, Brad. It looks like areas you're like, I'll come back here once I get this ability.
And there's like a shopkeeper.
I can't break this wall.
I don't know if you've found the shopkeeper. Like, it looks like you have to collect literal crafting mats to get a lot of the upgrades.
It's I think you and I are both fairly early on in it, but tonally, I think tonally, and again, kudos for the imagination and going into this. I'm into it. The art style is not jiving with me, and neither is the animation.
Yeah, like everything other than the light touch of weird Pac-Man inclusion in this is like pretty generic to me so far, and not doing a lot for me. And yes, the art style is really not helping with that. There's
something about the animation that feels a little like it's not sharp and snappy. It's a little flowy. It's got that thing where it feels like you can feel where the rotation points and pivot points of all the limbs are on the character, you know?
It's that type of animation where it's like they took a sprite and they're using they're like manipulating the sprite, like doing transforms on it to animate it rather than having done a bunch of different frames of animation, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you know the word I'm trying not to use here.
I know you're trying not to say this looks like an old like Flash animation.
Yeah, but it is that style of animation where it feels like they took 2D images and are just sort of manipulating them to animate them, which doesn't necessarily look the best in some cases.
But I think that I wouldn't even mind it as much if some of the controls feel floaty's not the right word, but soft. You know, like because it does have the patina of an action game, though as early as I am, nothing has been that timing critical, so it might not even get in the way. But
it's like 3-hit sword combo. You've got to dodge, you know. Like you can jump while you're in Pac-Man mode on the D line. Like you can jump from surface to surface as Pac-Man and attack there too. But the controls are. You
have iframes in your dodge as well, which you kind of need to use. I guess it's a Metroidvania with what feels like a Souls-like system built into it. I have not died yet, so I don't know if you
don't drop your currency when you die. You just go back to the checkpoint. So.
Okay, so it's just checkpoint based.
Yeah,
I've seen some criticisms as I was looking through how is this thing doing on Steam reviews and stuff, saying that the checkpointing can be a little tough. This is I think some people not really knowing what to make of this game. Is it a Metroidvania? What are we doing here? Mm-hmm. What is this Pac-Man thing? I think as a curiosity though, I'm kind of fascinated. It is $30.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it is.
I also just needed to know. Like it's such a weird thing, especially because this is a Bandai Namco game. Like they had to approve this use of Pac-Man for this thing to exist. It's just such a like strange product that had to be run up and down the corporate chain of decision making, and I needed to see what it was for that reason, but kind of generic so far other than the Pac-Man parts.
I think in the gameplay, I think the story stuff I do want to kind of figure out what's going on.
Yeah,
there.
I think I might be willing to give it a little more time to see if the story / Pac-Man stuff gets even weirder and more amusing.
Yes. I guess it's going to come down to as I go forward, and I'll play more of it, how the powers feel, if they're fun, right? Like the upgrades, because I think that turning into Pac-Man one is actually kind of fun and silly. Though it doesn't control like super great, and you're not like this is awesome, but it's silly.
Yeah, I was just delighted the first time that happened.
Yeah. That is Shadow Labyrinth. I believe that's pretty much available on everything right now. If you want to give it a try, and it's available on your Switch and Switch 2. Let's move on here from Shadow Labyrinth to let's check in on Death Stranding 2. Brad, you played some of this. We talked a lot about this last week, but we didn't get your take on it.
Dude, I was playing so much of that game. I haven't played it in 2 weeks because I've been out of town for that long, but I had put like 35 hours into it before I left.
What's the 20,000 foot view?
Dying to get back to it.
Sounds like enjoying it.
Yeah, I really like that game. I mean, it's basically all the stuff I liked about the first one, but better. With the exception that, and like, I don't know that I would have come to this conclusion if I hadn't seen other people who I think have played more of it than me and maybe even finished it, having said this as well. There are things about it that feel a little too easy. Like you had this sneaking suspicion that in growing and you've seen other people kind of reinforce it? Kind of. Well, it was more like when I saw people saying this, I was like, oh, I guess I can kind of identify with that. And also I can see that maybe seems like where this is going. It's just like, the world is so seeded with other people's constructions that I almost never...
We did actually talk about this last week, yeah.
Okay.
Like removing almost too much friction.
Like the tension in certain places feels like it's just not even there.
I'm trying to think if I've ever had to build a generator. I don't think I have.
Exactly. I think Lex brought that up too.
I built a couple of bridges and like traversal things, but I've never had to build a fucking power generator anywhere.
I built one bridge and really enjoyed doing it. And then as soon as I got over the bridge to where I was going, I realized that was around the point where you start getting the monorail. And I realized like, they had pre-built something they were waiting for me to turn on that has completely made that bridge I built useless.
It's not useless. Maybe it'll show up for people who are also going to turn on the monorail, right?
Sure.
Maybe for pre-monorail people.
I think it will, like I want it to help somebody, and I think it will probably in isolated cases. Like I had a weird moment with that where I kind of broke the script, and this is going to be hard to describe if you don't have like the map of Australia of the game world in front of you. There's a giant lake, right? Do you remember there's like a huge lake, kind of like a crater lake? It must have been like a void out happened at some point.
Now, is it a water lake or a tar lake?
I think it's a tar lake, actually. It's a tar lake. It's down the slope of, where the musician is?
Yes.
It's like it's right down the slope right behind the musician. And I think the, what's the guy's name? The lone commander, the sniper guy.
Yeah.
I think all those like individual like prepper dudes like live on the rim of this crater tar lake thing.
Yeah. His ex-buddies.
Like I got to looking at the map and there's like all kinds of structures out along the edge of that crater that you haven't been to at that point in the game. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go there. I've got the truck now. Like I can load up batteries and just go. And I got way off the network and just went all the way up there. And it's like this giant warehouse complex. And there's a huge one of those, whatever that symbol that the Higgs, the Troy Baker characters, like terrorist group, like the big like red statue things that those people are deploying in this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like a huge one of those posted out front of this warehouse. And I got there and nothing happened at all.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
There was nothing for me to do there. In fact, there's a city where there's like a, or not a city, but the bigger distribution point type locations, the ones that you can drive down into, and they have a garage, and
the big buried ones.
There was one of those up there, but they wouldn't let me activate it, of course, because the story was not at that point yet. And then I went down to and I went down to that warehouse, and it was just like, oh well, I guess maybe like the last boss is going to be here, or I'm going to fight those terrorists here at some point. Because there's that statue just waiting for me to trigger.
For you.
Like, it's just waiting for me to trigger this point in the story progression. And I got super bummed out. I got so fucking bummed out, as much as I love that game.
Yeah.
It made me wish it was Astroneer. Like, it made me wish that game had way more Astroneer in it, because Astroneer is all proc gen. There's no locations like that in that game. But that game lets you go do anything, anywhere, at any time. You know what I mean? It's like, I think I was like bumping into the ceiling of the low ceiling of the difficulty in that game, wishing there was more for me to engage with. And I was just like, I'm just going to pick a location on the map and go there and trek off the grid and make myself do the hard stuff without the benefit of the network. And there was nothing there for me.
I don't know how you solve that problem.
It's just, I wish there was a little bit more survival to this game than there is. Like, if you just run the golden path of go to the next location we tell you to make the delivery to, get them on the network, and then go to the one after that, like, you'll just do that until you finish the game, right? Like,
Sam didn't say anything like I should come back here, or like looks like
there was no dialogue, no nothing. Okay. There was just like an kind of error, like UI error message basically when I went up to that distribution point, kind of saying like, you have no active jobs for this location, turn around.
That's the part. I think the distribution point, the statue, I can see like that's just a hard one. The distribution point, maybe something narratively, if you hit those before they're ready, should have something like, we're still getting online, or like,
or like, there's a security system around it, and they won't take it down until, they agree that they're willing to work with you or something, just some kind of interaction.
Just something.
The thing that got me to go up there, and I haven't looked this up because I don't want to know, because I like this game so much that I want to try to discover the stuff organically, but I get the sense there are a bunch of like hidden, I think the first game had this too, a bunch of hidden locations out there, like, again, it's the little like individual prepper type character houses. Gotcha. In fact, the Mexico map even has a couple of those, like the Boca.
Like, you won't be sent there. You kind of have to find it.
And like the artist, and they'll have upgrades for you if you do their deliveries, but you won't know they're there unless you go searching. Like, I'm pretty sure there's
lost cargo or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's more of those hidden people out there in Australia, and that's why I was roaming, just trying to find that stuff. Because I want
your truck back. It made it back with the batteries. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I was on the trike. Cut off network.
Sorry, I was on the trike on that one, actually.
Even did you load it up with side batteries?
Yeah, I think I had a battery too. I can't remember. All right. But I really like that game, but I also wish it was a little more freeform and a little more like let you explore and survive on your own. Kind of
reward you for just like stumbling into that thing. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm just trying to put my game dev hat on, which I don't actually own. I just cosplay as one. And like think like, oh, what would I do if a player stumbled across that big thing? You can't hide it, right? Because then it's weird for it to just be there later. I guess you could just mow Sam down at some point, or you could just do the crappy thing, which is like be like, get back in the map, Sam. Like, you're not, you have 10 seconds, you're going off network or something. I don't know. But it sounds like you're enjoying it, and it sounds like there's two parts of this game. I think when we talk about it. The actual delivery network stuff and the actual story stuff. Right. Are you feel like you're engaging with both of those equally?
Yeah, I mean, like the story stuff is just sort of like rolling off of me.
Okay.
Inoffensively for the most part. Like Rainey is the most recent character I have run into and has joined the crew. Like I'm in episode 4 somewhere, I think.
Okay. I think I was saying this last week when we were talking to Lexi about it. Like, I don't mind as much when this game stops everything dead in its track to talk to me for a while, because at least the characters are more ridiculous and like there's more going on there. I don't think the story is good so far, but it is a lot campier and weirder, and I think that is going a long way for me.
Yes, that's where it's at for me. Like the core storyline of like what's up with Lou and like who's BB-28 and all that stuff is like whatever.
Who fucking cares?
I'll see how that goes when it gets here. That's fine.
I put it down. I just at some point I hit the delivery loop, and wound up finishing. This was during the break, finishing up Assassin's Creed instead of playing it.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, that is weird. I know it's coming out of my mouth. It sounds so weird.
Wow, that's wild. I was like, I had a 7 a.m. flight to come out here, and like I stayed up too late the night before that flight because I did not want to put the game down.
It might be a thing. I don't know. I'm just thinking about what I felt, I hit a part where it started feeling like all the time I had put into Death Stranding 1. It felt very familiar to me. Like, oh yeah, I did this. I built the network and the roads. Again, it's not like I dislike it. I just didn't have that spark to go back in and engage with it on that level. But I do, hearing you talk about it more makes me want to jump back in there now that Assassin's Creed is done. Like Donkey Kong isn't keeping me up at nights to go play it. I feel like
I don't think there's enough of it to really keep you up for very long,
I think Death Stranding is there for me waiting. And I think I want to take that game pretty slowly this time.
Sure. It's all the quality of life stuff we've talked about before, but it's just so much more playable. It's so much less of a pain to engage with, like just so many shortcuts to rearranging your cargo and like all the way the gun stuff works and like all those trinkets you can equip to get more ammo and on and on and on. There are just like so many more things about it that make it more pleasant to play.
Well, I look forward to hearing more about it because I think I'm just gonna like simmer on that one in the background. I'm not gonna mainline Death Stranding. Some other stuff here to catch up on. I think Kaizen, a factory story, is a lot of fun. That is, I'm still kicking around in that one when I'm at the PC sitting there. Let me just say, it maybe is a great game to be playing while you're, say, ripping the G.I. Joe collection.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a very specific use case, but there's got to be more than one of you out there.
That's the Not Zachtronics game.
What is the Not Zachtronics game?
What's their new name?
Confluent? No, is it not Confluent? Something like the
it does start with a
Convergence?
C.
The co-op.
Coincidence is the name now.
It's great. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's of that kind. So if you're not into those building games like that,
Zach just couldn't not make games.
It's not a satisfactory game, but it is a optimization game, right?
Yeah.
Optimize this.
It's in that neighborhood.
Yeah. Okay. I talked about it last week a bit, but I'm continuing to really enjoy it. And again, it's a good chill. And I have 20 minutes while this thing goes. I'm gonna go mess around with this stuff. I am still popping on to MindsEye.
What? Why?
Yeah. You missed that one.
Did you just need to know?
So Lexi finished it, and so before Lex was on the podcast, I was like, I'm gonna jump into it so we can talk about it.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know, I don't hate this.
It's super short, right?
I think it's super short. So I think I'm probably more than halfway through it. It's dumb. It's not good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just more of a there are just more it just feels packed with filler more than anything else, which makes it dull. I think Lex said this, and I'm getting into it now. The missions are spread out. You drive for long times and drive back with nothing happening, and you're just like, all right, I'll get to this thing. But I'll just pocket it away. I think I'm still having fun. When a game is like, this isn't a great game, but I'm still having kind of fun with it. Yeah. As long as it doesn't take up too much of my time. That's the problem with Assassin's Creed. I was having a lot of fun, but then it just started taking up too much time, and I just needed it to be done. So yeah, there's that.
It's like 10 hours maybe to finish it.
It's like breezy. It's not a challenging thing. So there's that. That's kind of it for me. For you guys, got anything else?
It's been all Donkey Kong all the time for me right now.
It was a lot of Kong in this household. Again, that game is great, or good to great on my scale. A lot of fun. That game is also, I'll go back to Donkey Kong, just so easy to pick up and just play some of it. You don't even have to think about it, unless you get really lost, I guess. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on in terms of the games, smaller things, which I'm really enjoying. We just did our Planorama for August, and there are a few gems in there, but August did not seem super packed, so a lot of time to catch up for me on Death Stranding as well.
Yeah,
Mafia coming out. And,
yes, there's a bunch of little stuff, like Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is out next week. Want to check that out? Like Wildgate came out, that new space combat.
Totally.
Sea of Thieves in space type game. I want to try that when I'm near a computer again.
Shinobi end of the month.
Yep.
That Dying Light game in August. But yeah, I appreciate some time to catch up on some stuff. I haven't tried that Eric's Home game yet, and I really want to try that. The last thing here, I'll just mention that I'm going to actually make a note for a game here that's not just stuff I would like to play. Played it on the stream with Abby. The Drifter, point-and-click adventure game. Pretty good. I'm going to try and finish that one up as well. It's fully voiced. It's the pixel work. It's just so good. There has been so much really good pixel work recently.
Isn't that that's Powerhoof, right?
Powerhoof.
Didn't they make Crawl?
Crawl,
yes, that's the Crawl development. Yes, I remember Crawl having like incredible pixel work, really well animated pixel art.
Yes, and this is in that style. Some of the adventure game puzzles get in the weeds a little bit much, where you're like, come on, man, like we can figure out how to start this fire without me having to be like, now I have to find paper. It's like one of those things. But it isn't a point-and-click adventure game.
Yeah, like the Steam description says fast-paced point-and-click thrill ride, which at first made me wonder, like, is there some action mechanic to this game? Is this not just a weird point? Or do they mean fast-paced in the story sense?
I don't know. I thought in the trailer there were some more action-y bits, but we didn't hit any of that in the part we played so far. So it's got an interesting story so far. There is some, mystery around your character's memory and what's real and what's not real, and a secret organization out there, but maybe it's all in your head. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I'm enjoying it, and if you like old point-and-click adventure games of that genre, I think you should check it out. At least go check out the stream Abby and I did that should be up on our YouTube channel. If you want to see more of that, that's The Drifter. But that's going to do it for the games, at least. We'll talk more games. Also, Abiotic Factor went into 1.0.
Yeah, right. That went final. That game was cool.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff.
That's going to do it for the games. We're going to take another break. We're going to come back. We're going to get into some of the news. So stick around. We've got more to talk about after this. All right, we are back, and it is time for the news. And Brad Shoemaker, always miss you when you're gone. Especially miss you, your news brain when stuff comes around. I feel like I just enjoy. No offense to you, Alex. No offense to any of our guests.
No, I have a dumb news brain. It's fine.
I just enjoy talking about these things with you.
Well, thank you. I mean, it could not do it without the people doing the actual reporting. And
yes, let's be clear about that.
And aggregating and writing up of this news, just to be extremely clear.
That's fair.
Shout out to the Video Games Chronicles and the Rebecca Valentines and the all of the people like doing the actual legwork.
That is true. Brad, what do we got this week? Where do you want to start?
Splitgate 2 is about to be unreleased.
Okay. So the last time that Splitgate, very popular. Splitgate 2, maybe having some trouble. For me, Splitgate 2, the only other big thing that came up was Summer Game Fest? They had that little that blow up with the hat and the make shooters great again, whatever it was.
Make FPSs great again. That's the obvious conclusion to draw here is that they shot a hole in their company with this stupid PR blunder, and now their game is doing so poorly that they are taking it offline, and effectively they're saying they're going to go back to work on it until next year sometime before they put it back out.
While also laying people off in the process.
Yeah, and there will be layoffs included in that. All that said, I went and kind of did a quick skim of Steam user reviews of that game. It's kind of what I would expect here. It's actually also a lot of people that just think it's not as good as the first game, that the monetization was terrible, way too aggressive and overly or highly priced monetization, too much focus on a battle royale mode that they didn't want. People have problems with the game itself. That said, you will definitely see stuff peppered into those user reviews of I guess they didn't make FPS great again, did they?
Well,
but that hat incident definitely did not help this game's prospects.
Well, I also think it is as much as that was a clown ass move, and it was. It also felt like a clown-ass move that felt like it was very carefully trying to dive right over the actual problems that game was having. We are going to make a big splashy showing on the stage. I'm going to do my thing here. And it seemed like that was largely in service of trying to obfuscate the fact that the game was not tracking well. Things were not going well with Splitgate 2.
I have never been able to understand their strategy with the sequel, because my understanding is like, I know the first game blew up. I remember when it came out, and like it was like people were like, oh my god, it's like Halo meets Portal. This is amazing. And it had huge player numbers, and then they kind of didn't do much with it, and they immediately started working on this sequel, or very quickly. Like they didn't actually like exploit the success of the first game so much as they just were like, what if we made 2 right now? I don't know.
I think what might have happened here, and I don't remember how much of this was just like reporting versus like random postulating, so feel free to take this with as many grains of salt as possible, but I got the impression that as many studios like them are, when a game that they think will do some numbers for them, but maybe just kind of get their feet wet before they go on to make their next big thing or whatever, when something like that blows up big and you end up in that situation where it's like, oh, we're not prepared for this, there's a couple of ways you can pivot on that. You can just like say, okay, well, this is all we do now, and we're going to find our way to making more and more of this thing until that well runs dry. Or I think you can do what I think they did here, which is they realized that they had not sufficiently monetized that first game for the number of people that had come in. And they were like, well, we could either tear apart that game and add a bunch of monetization to it, or we could just make a new one that has all that shit already baked in. And that seems like one of the things people really hate about this one is the complication of the monetization stuff.
Yeah, that does seem likely that probably was their thought process. Also, as a part of this news, they mentioned that they are taking the original game down. When is it? Next month is when they are taking those servers offline. So not really a good time for anybody at that studio.
Just a lot of bad decisions after bad decisions.
I mean, you might be right in, and this is actually a sympathetic bone I have for this kind of development where if you're not monetizing on these forever games, you are going to wind up in a hole, right? Because you still have to do ongoing dev costs and you have to support. And I think in the story from Jordan Midler about this, quoting them as saying it's costing us hundreds of thousands of dollars to keep these servers up, right? For
a game that they are not monetizing at the rate that they are trying to monetize this.
Or
if
people have bought it already, what is the ongoing monetization as people play it? But yeah, I don't follow Splitgate community that much. I did, just to follow up on some of that stuff that had happened, and the vibe I got was the gameplay was not necessarily there. There were videos from the team basically saying, look, I just wanted to make a big splash on stage. I needed attention. Was it a dumb thing? And then that just escalated into like, you don't have to apologize. That whole thing. But I think at the core of it is the game, right?
Yes.
If you have a great game, a lot of that stuff just falls by the wayside, and people are like, yeah, but your game is awesome. It's just too good to ignore.
This was not that.
It sounds like maybe at least they and the community think this is not that.
Yeah, I mean, they say they plan to, quote, refocus on classic game modes for the re-release next year. So, like, yeah, that seems pretty much like an acknowledgement that all those people complaining in Steam reviews are right.
Yeah, and especially if this is your flagship thing and you're going to take down your original. If you don't have the other thing, and people bounce off of it, there's a lot of competition out there.
A lot of ways to go.
That's Splitgate 2 getting unlaunched, quote unquote. And we'll see a Space Cowboy, I guess. I don't know. Portal Cowboy. I guess that doesn't count as a delay, but I'm going to use it in the loosest sense to segue into this next story.
Sure. Go with it.
This is definitely sad. I mean, like, look, if games need to be delayed, they need to be delayed. That's fine. But Directive 8020 is no longer coming out in October. That is now a next year game. That's the new Supermassive game. I played that at Summer Game Fest. It's their, Supermassive is the Quarry, the all the Dark Pictures games. That style of cinematic horror, choose your own adventure kind of thing. This is their science fiction game. That looks great from what I played of it. But
maybe a little.
They're also
the thing like.
Yes, very, very much, definitely taking some inspiration. They are also laying people off as part of this move, sadly. So yeah, not coming out this year.
And just basically, I think they say first half of 2026 is their new target.
I believe is what they said. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I was really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But again, I understand delays and, just personally bummed because I wanted to get my hands on it.
Like delays are fine. I mean, I've kind of gotten into this like October is the horror month kind of vibe the last few years. If it's fun to just watch a bunch of horror movies and play some scary games in October, and this would have been great for that. But anyway, Take the time you need. Also, condolences to people who lost their jobs. Also, I think I missed the part where Supermassive is making Little Nightmares 3 because they included in their messaging about these layoffs and everything. There is no impact on the development of Little Nightmares 3.
Yeah, I saw that in there too, and I was like, oh, okay.
I think I missed the news that they had taken that over.
Best of luck to everybody there and who are still there making the game. We played on Monday. We went back into Night Rain, and that was really fun to play with Will and jump around and make it past day one at least in that game.
I thought we were going to make it to the final boss, but
maybe we got some bad rolls.
Yeah, that must be it.
Can happen to anyone.
So FromSoftware has their Switch game coming up soon, but Brad, that's not all?
Yeah, I mean, this is a rumor. We'll see, but this is being reported by MP First, which I think does have a somewhat reliable track record of reporting rumors. They claim to have gotten their hands on some firsthand evidence that FromSoftware has another game in like late stage development, along with the Duskbloods is the name of that Switch 2 multiplayer game they're making. Not a lot of like concrete information. It's a lot of speculation about what this other game might be. They've got a code name which I believe is FMC. Let me just double check here. Yes, FMC is the code name of the other FromSoftware game that they are saying exists, and they're saying will be out no later than next year,
which is soon.
Yes, they pulled a bunch of old like FromSoftware code name and acronyms for previous projects. FRPG 2 was Dark Souls 2. FDP was Dark Souls 3. FHD was Dark Souls Remastered. Like they're speculating that this is either some kind of Dark Souls 3 remaster or some kind of Armored Core release potentially.
They just did Armored Core not that long ago, though.
Maybe it did well enough to do more. Maybe
I don't know that it did. I think that game did okay, but I don't know if it did that well.
Yeah, Armored Core 6 is not that old. It's just because all the Dark Souls and Armored Core games that they have code names for all start with F, so they're just kind of drawing some conclusions there. I mean, it seems like the least surprising thing in the world that From would have another game going. Like, there's no way they're going to put all their eggs.
Next year's pretty soon.
Yeah.
But there's no way they're going to put all their eggs in the Duskbloods basket when that platform only has a few million units out there right now.
Sure. I thought they might and we'll see where this goes, but be heavier into Night Rain. I think that seems pretty popular. I don't know how it's selling, but it seems.
I think it's doing quite well.
Hugely, it was the number one game in June according to those Circana numbers, and it didn't even come out in June. I think that was a May release, wasn't it?
So that's a big one. I think in this story again reported by Andy Robinson, there's a quote and they're saying, but hey, we're not just doing all multiplayer stuff, right? Like we're that's not where From is headed. We're not just going to do all PvPvE, though it's fascinating. We will continue having different experiences.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Elden Ring was one of the biggest games of the decade. There's no way they're giving that kind of stuff up.
Yeah, but what if you did Elden Ring with more people?
What if?
What
would that be like?
What would you, Brad? Would you want more of that vein? I mean, it seems like they did a pretty good job with Night Rain. You're liking it, or would you want to see more in the traditional single player Souls?
I mean, it'd be great if they could just do both. Honestly, I mean, I don't know how big that studio is at this point.
Arguably, some of that Elden Ring Dark Souls stuff is a hybrid multiplayer game where you can summon other people into your world. So, with a few tweaks, we played Night Rain again, and I was shocked, or I had forgotten how fast paced that game is.
Yep.
It's a very different experience.
Yeah, the game's cool as hell. And I'm very excited about the Duskbloods now that I have seen that Night Rain actually works.
Sorry, correct me again. This should be an easy correction for me. The Demon Souls and Bloodborne are still Sony. Is that right?
Bloodborne definitely. I think yes. Sony also does own Demon Souls, I believe.
And then Dark Souls, Elden Ring, all that stuff is From. They can do.
No, Dark Souls is Bandai Namco.
Oh, Namco. Okay.
And they might own Elden Ring as well. Actually, I don't know.
I forgot with the who has all the properties. Okay, good to know. I know it's Bloodborne is the one that would make the internet explode, right?
I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, like I said, this is the MP First story here speculates that it's potentially a Dark Souls 3 remaster or remake of some kind.
Okay.
Which I don't know. I like Dark Souls 3 well enough.
Was there a Dark Souls 2 official remaster?
No.
Okay. Was there a Dark Souls 1 official remaster?
One got like a re-release, like an HD re-release on new platforms, and with like, you know, the kind of in-game, remember the original game was locked at 30 FPS?
Yes.
You had to like hack it on PC, and that broke like ladder physics and stuff like that. So they put out a new version of the game in like high def with higher frame rate and stuff.
Okay.
So two, I don't think has ever gotten anything other than that. What was it, like Scholar of the First Sin, I think was the name of that like re-released version of that.
And then Prepare to Die edition, was that the one the one re-release?
That was I don't remember.
I'm sorry, I'm getting out over too much here. I think, but Demon's Souls, Sony's Demon's Souls is the only one that has a proper remake, right? That is a
like a full on from the ground up, and From, you know, obviously didn't even do that. Prepare to Die edition, I think, was just the like has all the DLC version of Dark Souls from.
I'm trying to think of the ones I own.
I think it's Dark Souls. What is it called? Is it Dark Souls HD? What do they call that actual like re-release of that? I don't remember. Dark Souls Remastered, maybe.
FMC.
Yep.
The FMC universe. That'd be cool. Like they have carved a damn lane for themselves. Like,
I'd say they've carved out an entire highway for themselves.
Yeah, really. Like, kudos to them. They when when we are done and the books are written, they will have a fairly large chapter for popularizing a style of game. So good on them.
Yeah, it feels like they've got 2 to 3 projects in some amount of completion at any given time at this point. So
a lot of respect for those teams.
Yeah, probably not super surprising. They'll have something else on top of, because, you know, Night Rain and Duskblood's 2 multiplayer games in a row. Like, they have to be doing something else that's more in their traditional wheelhouse as well. I
mean, again, I'll just say I was pretty doubtful about the multiplayer stuff, and they seem to make it work. So, like, that's, you know, a lot of respect for them for turning that one around as well. All right. Lastly here, we have to go to our special Hell correspondent.
That's me. Hi, guys.
The newly anointed Prince of Darkness.
Hey, guys, what's going on over here? Hang out in hell with my friend Pinhead and all the Cenobites. We're just cold kicking it, putting chains in people's skulls and shit. It's pretty fucking awesome. How you guys doing?
Well, we have some marketing questions. I've got Fred and Sally here. Hi. We are.
Hey, Fred. Hey, Sally. Saw you last week. Good to see you again.
Hey, we've been. This fucking cube you gave me, I just can't get it to fit together. I just can't turn the pieces well enough.
Oh, don't worry. You'll find your way.
Every time I do it, I get pricked. Anyway, aside from that, we're wondering what the how the projects are going. We're thinking about monetizing Hell in some pretty big ways. We've got Ed here from Saber. Any updates on projects that we really see a lot of synergy in the Saber Hell future?
That's great. Yeah, that's fantastic. Hey, Ed, how you doing? So listen, I know it's been a rough road getting Hellraiser to the interactive digital medium. There have been many attempts. Every single one of them has been canceled over the years. We all remember the infamous NES Hellraiser game that had an ad and everything, and then it never got released.
Wait, what?
Yes, there was supposed to be a licensed Hellraiser game. It did not ever come out.
Oh my God, I had no idea.
There was also apparently supposed to be a CD-ROM game sometime in the 90s.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I only mention this because I don't know that anything has ever really surfaced from it, but it was supposedly going to have FMV in it, Vinny, which I think would have really been something.
How would you not do a Hellraiser FMV game in the 90s?
With a CD-ROM tech?
That NES Hellraiser game was a Color Dreams game. Wow. Okay. Yeah, sure. That makes
I remember
sense.
the story was they bought the rights for like $50K, got going on a game, and then apparently the game never made any sense, so they never put it out. But finally, after decades of trying to get this product in front of a young and exciting audience, we are finally going to get a Hellraiser video game from the folks at Saber Interactive, and apparently the developers of the Evil Dead asynchronous multiplayer game that came out some number of years ago.
Yeah, that was okay. I mean, it was definitely one of those.
It was better than some of the other ones, but yeah.
Clive Barker appears to be involved in this in some fashion.
Yeah, Clive, when the rights reverted back to him, he is now lightly touching anything Hellraiser involved. He had some creative input on that 2022 reboot movie. There is apparently a series that has been in talks at various stages of happening at one of the various streaming outlets. What I do know is that whether or not he's writing this thing, I don't think he is, but I'm sure he is giving some creative input. But they are making a full-on single-player horror survival game based on Hellraiser.
That's cool. He seems to care about games somewhat. There have been a couple of other games over the years with Clive Barker name on them.
Yeah, Jericho, remember Undying,
those?
What have you.
Yeah, like Undying is like pretty well respected. I remember that actually.
Yeah,
for its time, it was great.
People peeping like, oh, there's like really something here. I don't think Jericho quite landed the same.
Jericho had some aesthetic choices that I thought were interesting, but the actual game was not very good.
Is Jericho the game related to Jericho the show, the TV show?
Not even remotely.
Okay. Great. Fantastic. Yeah. Is Clive Barker the master of horror, or is he a master
He
of
is a
shadows?
master of horror.
Is he a master? Doesn't he have like his own like tag that from the undying master of horror?
I think the main differentiating factor between Clive Barker and some of the other various master of horrors out there is that his shit is just way hornier than everyone else's by and large.
Okay.
That's a very valid lane for horror.
I mean, okay, have either of you guys seen a Hellraiser movie?
Hellraiser, no.
Nope.
Okay. Well, when this comes out, I can almost guarantee you we'll be doing something Hellraiser related on the Watchcast because I'm going to finally make you guys watch those movies. They are fucked up in all kinds of different ways. Most of them are fucking terrible outside of the first two movies. That reboot was okay.
I have a fascination. I have picked your brain quite a bit about the Hellraiser universe because I have a fascination with it only because you have tickled my brain in ways with Hellraiser questions that I would love to know more about, whether they are aliens, whether they are interdimensional beings,
interdimensional beings
from
is
hell.
How I describe it. Whether they come from literal Christian hell or not kind of depends on the movie you're watching, but I would say that is not Clive Barker's initial interpretation of the characters.
And they just love a good time.
Yeah, of a fashion.
They love a good look.
They have fun.
It is the traditional story of kink shaming, right? Like, who am I to judge? You like doing this thing with your flesh? I'm going to tell you right now,
shame is the least of any of the problems going on for any of the people in these movies. The most interesting small detail in this, though, which I don't think was in the original announcement, but it was mentioned by the person who was voicing the character. Xavier Nelson is voicing the lead protagonist character, Aiden, in the game.
This man must be stopped. He's doing too much work.
Bless him. That's awesome.
I'm joking. To be clear, I'm not actually criticizing at all.
And Doug Bradley is coming back as Pinhead.
Incredibly prolific. Good for him.
Yeah. So the Pinhead has an actor that is
multiple now.
To, okay.
So Doug Bradley did it for the longest stretch. Doug Bradley was there all the way until like the 2000s when they kind of went even lower budget than they had at that point and started trying to save everywhere they could. So there are two other random actors played Pinhead after that, and no one cared about them. Then Jamie, I forget her last name, but she played Pinhead in the reboot, and she was really good. Like, I thought her version of Pinhead, while different, was really fucked up in its own way, which I appreciated. But Doug Bradley is by far like the person who has played the character the longest and is most readily associated with the character.
So, okay, I'm going to read one of their lines here, and so that you can kind of just, again, I'm a idiot when it comes to the Hellraiser universe. I mean, you have to dive to get raised.
Yes, it's true.
Discover the tale of Aiden, who must unlock the dark powers of the Genesis configuration caps. Does that make sense to you?
So the box, as it is known through most of the movie series, is the Lament configuration.
Right. Does Genesis configuration mean anything to you aside from being maybe a different box?
My recollection is I think in the reboot, they may have called the box something else. I don't remember what it was called, but it may have been some other kind of configuration. Okay. So it's possible that there are multiple puzzle boxes with different configuration types, but they all lead to hell. It's all bad.
So it says the Genesis configuration, unlock the dark powers of that to help his girlfriend from a hellish abyss. As Aiden, you'll harness the box's infernal abilities to survive your pact with the sinister Pinhead and battle against the twisted cult that worships him and the Cenobites. So what does that gameplay look like to you, someone who is familiar with how this world might work?
It sounds to me like what they are doing is they are dangling the possibility of rescuing your girlfriend in front of you by doing something for Pinhead. That's what it sounds like to me, because Pinhead is not a character you can just fight. That's not really the way anything in Hellraiser works. It is mostly about solving the puzzle box at the right time or the wrong time, and then stuff happens. But if Pinhead and the Cenobites are like dangling her soul in front of you and saying, you want to rescue her, you need to go do some shit. Go fight these fucking cultists. I don't know what they're up to. Who knows? They could be up to some bad shit that's different. There's also rival factions within the Cenobites.
Oh, interesting.
Sometimes Pinhead is generally considered to be the head priest or sort of like the main figurehead of a lot of it, but there are at times conflicts within Hell. If you go into the novels and the various like graphic novels and things like that, there's a whole lot more fleshing out of that stuff. The movies barely ever touch on that shit, though. Mostly the movies just get into the territory of, hey, can we torture people for 90 minutes and then put a direct-to-video? Great, let's go.
Turns out you can.
Yeah.
The trailer is very cinematic that they put out, and it's not necessarily exploring the gameplay from the trailer.
Yeah,
this could be anything from like I guess there's one shot, right, of somebody hitting somebody with a club.
They call it a first-person survival horror. I feel like, isn't there some text in the description of this that's like, you're dealing with both the Cenobites and like a cult that has sprung up around them to worship them?
I think that's where you get your grunts from.
Yes, that's exactly it. That is exactly the copy you write to justify why this game has like a million like fodder enemies to shoot.
And the one little bit of what could be gameplay kind of has a Condemned little vibe to it, like it just looks like somebody with a mallet there. Anyway,
I have to say that it really feels like they are making this in the spirit of the NES game that never was, because like dude has to go rescue his girlfriend from the big bad. It's the most NES ass plot for a video game imaginable.
And I'm going to tell you right now, if she ended up in the clutches of Pinhead, you were doing something you weren't supposed to be doing to begin with, all right? Like, that doesn't happen by accident. You got to touch something, you got to fuck something, you got to do something you're not supposed to be doing.
In the trailer, I assume that's Aiden in the trailer.
It must be in the girl, yeah.
Yeah, he's sitting there in the bathtub, and she's got that cube, and she's just messing around with that cube.
Well, that doesn't really seem like, it kind of seems like you invited that one on yourself.
I guess my question really is like, do people get powers through this thing, or is this just going to be like you got a club and a gun and you're kind of dude shooting your way?
The basic thing I can tell you that doesn't really spoil anything for the movies, because this is just kind of the way they also change the lore as things go along. But the idea is when you open the box, you summon the Cenobites, and when the Cenobites come, it is not to hang out with you. It is to drag you back to whatever dimension they're from and basically do everything to your body that you never want them to do. That is what inevitably happens. Now, in the films, sometimes people make a bargain with them. In the first movie, the whole movie basically orbits around this uncle of the main character, Kirsty, who dies and then comes back to life because the stepmother of the girl who was fucking the uncle in every possible dirty way you could imagine finds this box and finds a way to summon him back to life because she's so terminally horny she can't live without him. And so he comes back to life, but in order to fully resurrect him, she has to feed flesh to him, and he comes back as a very wet, nasty-looking, skinless corpse.
This is the first movie?
This is the first movie.
Oh, wow. This is not anything I thought that movie had in it.
And then it just goes from there, is how I would describe it, with the sequels and where they change things from there.
Okay.
But the first movie has like 5 or 6 characters in it total, and it mostly takes place in a really creepy house.
We all know about the law of equivalent exchange. You can't, there's no free resurrection.
No.
There's always a price to be paid.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in development, a trailer is available, kind of a teaser trailer. Saber Interactive putting this one out.
Bless them for trying. I hope they get this game out. Good casting choice with Xalavier. I find it very... I think Xalavier has gone on record as saying that he is a Christian. And I also love that all his game choices are like, this man is not making religious games. Like, whatever his faith, like, this man will be in a Hellraiser game. He don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Well, this just in. Slavers just made another game. It is
Hellraiser 2.
Turn-based Hellraiser 2 game.
Yeah, it's the Hellraiser 2 that never came out. They just made a batch 3 a game around it.
I mean, they did just announce another game last week.
Oh my gosh.
To be fair.
Yep. Never ends.
The award for most games goes.
Did they say when this is coming out?
Hellraiser, no, that does not have a date at this time.
Let me just check their website real
I would
quick.
have to guess that's a next year game.
Yeah, I think it just says wish list now. I don't see any kind of release information.
Also, just related news here. As I'm looking at the story in the side panel for this game, let me just check the date on the story. From May. I don't think I realized this, but is Evil Dead delisted? Because there was a
yes, they did eventually delist that game. Yeah, the servers went down.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
it's a shame. I thought that was one of the better one of those.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one time we streamed that.
Yeah.
Gives me enough hope at least that this team could probably do something interesting with this.
Hellraiser. Do you know, before we leave this, Alex?
Yeah.
Do you know if there's any other, is this like tying into some other Hellraiser movie or any other thing that's coming out?
No, the reboot movie was the only thing they had movie-wise queued up. I think they're talking about doing another one, but nothing has really come of that. There was talk of doing some kind of like limited series on one of the streaming services that, as far as I know, has not actually come to fruition yet, but it could still happen. My only request for this game, last thing I will say, you got to find a way to get that Motorhead theme in there.
Okay.
Because Motorhead did a Hellraiser theme for Hellraiser 3.
It's out there.
Hellraiser!
I was not to derail this conversation. We should talk about this maybe on the Ramblecast next week. I just found out last night that Lemmy wrote a fair number of the lyrics for some of Ozzy's solo stuff.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Ozzy.
Yeah,
R.I.P. Ozzy.
Lemmy is a co-writer of Mama, I'm Coming Home, for example.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's going to do it for the news. Let's take it to the emails. Podcast@nextlander.com. 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 Let's take a couple if you have them here. Brad, some emails.
Yep. Jeff from Denver. Yep. Jeff from Denver. This is about the Never Been a Better podcast that went up in the main feed the week before last from 2023. Classic. Yes. In that podcast, Vinny talked about wanting to start a company that makes plumbing components and just rake it in. Do you remember? Okay, now we're referencing a conversation you had 2 years ago.
No, I do, because this is an ongoing, I have had this wish and want for years. And to sum it up, it is basically, I wish I could just make a thing that goes in every urinal in the country, because you'd be one of those weird Texas billionaires that nobody ever, maybe trillionaire, that nobody ever has heard of. And you're just like, what do? I make the one fitting that has to be in every toilet.
Yeah, like one of the like rubrics for that kind of thing that I've heard is the real money is made doing things that would bore people when you describe it at a cocktail party.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like I like we machine parts for ice cream makers, or you know what I mean?
Or like you go like, have you ever used a toilet? Yeah, I make a piece that almost every toilet has. Right. It doesn't matter what brand of toilet. Yeah, that's right.
All right. So this email says, unfortunately, that already exists.
Damn it.
In the aughts or the 2000s, I worked at a golf course in Hawaii that had almost all billionaire members. Some famous, some not so much, though I'd Google them and usually I had heard of their company. But one of the wealthiest members had a company that literally just sold plumbing supplies to hotels.
Damn it.
They had his and hers Bentleys and one of the biggest houses on Pebble Beach, which isn't exactly known for having small, shitty houses. And it was all due to selling urinal cakes to like every single hotel.
Yep, there we go.
I wanted to be the... Okay, I'm going to pause you there, because now that the cat's out of the bag here and somebody's done it already, about 25 years ago...
I was a urinal cake.
I invented the urinal cake and they stole it. Maybe let's go 20 years ago, because I was probably working in San Francisco when this idea really formed, because of the bathrooms we were using at various bars like Steph's and whatever. And this is a men's room thing mostly. But in the urinal, I thought, boy, there's a lot of room here on the urinal cake. There's a lot of space here. Why don't we have a thing where you have like a target and you can have a scoreboard on the urinal to try and target the urinal like a bullseye, and then have a leaderboard for the people who are using the bathroom.
Really gives a new meaning to the phrase golden tea.
and then maybe we'd encourage people to stop peeing all over the floor. If
this must exist in Japan, right? Like this must already exist.
To be fair, that Steph's bathroom was like a real outlier in terms of smelling like pee.
I think they had one of those troughs there in the men's room. I think they might have also had a urinal, but there was one of those troughs. I don't even know if people made it as far as the trough.
It was a rough bathroom.
I can still like recall the sense memory of that reek to mind right now.
It's okay. I don't want to get too gross, but it's not only the smell; it's and this is a beer thing too. I mean, it was a pub, and people were bringing beers everywhere. It is as soon as you walk in there, you hear the sticky squeak of your shoes also sticking to the sticky floor of that. It's really nasty.
That was just a rough and tumble blue collar sports bar.
Yes, very much. Anyway, continue please about my lost urinal opportunities.
Both the husband and wife looked 10 to 15 years younger than they were, while most of the members looked much older than their age. Turns out stress ages you, and shipping tons of plumbing supplies is not all that stressful.
Damn it.
Slightly related, while I was there, I caddied for Matt Damon.
Oh.
Who 100% looked like a golfer due to his Legend of Bagger Vance training, but he was very much not a golfer. Really nice guy, though, and telling him he should putt from the rough on one of those holes felt pretty good, especially since he saved par. So there you go.
Probably not a billionaire yet, right?
I doubt it, but I don't know. We are in a weird... I feel like we are in a weird territory of like a lot of unrelated like entertainment celebrities becoming like Taylor Swift is a billionaire.
Yeah.
I would not be shocked if Ryan Reynolds is getting there. I was just going
to say Ryan Reynolds, like
with all his business ventures.
Yeah.
Anyway,
like net worth billionaire. Well, I'll have to find another thing to figure out. I just born too late.
Well, I mean, there are two ways to like start a company and get filthy rich. You can come up with an idea nobody has had.
Yeah.
Or you can just supplant somebody who's already doing it. You can disrupt the market.
I can make this thing cheaper.
All you got to do is sell your urinal cakes for 3 cents less per cake.
What if the urinal cakes last longer? What if they're like self-cleaning?
No, you don't make money that way. They have to last shorter.
It's a subscription service, you know.
Yeah.
If you there you go. The digital subscription service for my tied in global leaderboard for men's urinal cake scores. You need to know you can tap your phone on the thing and you can track your stats at the urinal and see what you're doing there. I think at this point too, if we're doing that, maybe we can do some biometric stuff, right? Being like, hey, look, you should have some more potassium. Just want to let you know, you should maybe it's time for you to sit one out on this next beer. Your BAC. Okay. I don't want to make too light of this because there are actual health things, but like if you use the urinal, men's urinal, and it could tell you your BAC when you're at a bar, I don't think any of us are living this lifestyle anymore. But think about when you were in your 20s. That'd be interesting, right? Like you'd be like,
not sure how well that would go, but okay.
Yeah, if you're like, actually, this is getting pretty high. I should probably not have another beer or something like that. You know, when you're in your 20s and you're making rational, good decisions.
One more warning sign to ignore completely.
I feel like the calorie counts on menus actually will stop me in my tracks from time to time.
Oh yeah,
so
especially with American food.
I could see that actually. I could see like maybe stopping a beer or two earlier.
Yeah, and I could sell it as that, and not as a way for me to become a billionaire. I don't like golf. What am I going to do as a billionaire? I'd be a terrible billionaire.
I don't know. Get a boat.
Yep, same.
Those are the two things when you become a billionaire. You either play a lot of golf or you get a big boat.
I would get a boat. Maybe I could be a billionaire.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, I'm going to take another crack at it.
And someone else can take care of it if you're a billionaire. That's the whole thing with a boat. If you don't have to take care of the boat, it's great.
That's right. Just ask Gabe Newell.
Yeah.
He's got like 5 of them.
Oh.
He's got like 5 yachts.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
All lined with knives.
He might be in the like yacht inside a yacht club at this point. I'm not sure.
What does that mean?
I was just like there are people out there with like yachts that have smaller yachts that can deploy from them.
Like, you know how like in sometimes like G.I. Joe or Mask, like there would be a smaller car that deploys from the bigger truck or car. Like, so it's a boat that deploys from the bigger boat.
I was watching a little Cowboy Bebop, and on the ship he's got a little ship, smaller ship, a little fighter ship. And I was like, that's a video game thing I love. I love when you have when
a little thing lives inside a big thing.
Yes, and you have the shuttle. I mean, it's the Star Trek shuttle, right?
Yeah.
It's like when you can deploy a shuttle from a bigger ship, and not that many games do it. Not as many games let you control the shuttle. Like even in Mass Effect, there were shuttles, I think, in was there a shuttle in the Normandy?
Yes. Yeah. You took shuttles down to some missions.
Yeah, right. But you never control it, really. You never, the gameplay isn't about the shuttle. Like,
man, sorry, you just gave me the idea that you should really be able to store the trike inside the truck in Death Stranding.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe there's something like that later, but like the trike actually still, and I kind of appreciate this, like there are still reasons to use the tricycle after you get the truck. Like it is better in some ways. Yeah, it's better on rough terrain. It goes way faster. Like it'd be so great if you could haul the trike around and deploy it.
Yes.
But
vehicles in other vehicles, always fun. All right, another email?
Sure. Joe in the UK, when do you think Xbox will cancel Fable?
Oh man, that's dark.
Like, yeah.
I don't think they will.
I think that's dark enough. I'm just going to give the serious answer that I'm pretty sure Fable is safe at this point.
As safe as anything is these days.
It seems like they've put too much behind it and it's coming along well enough that it's probably fine. Also, like they're probably desperate to rekindle the nostalgia and passion around some of those old Xbox franchises, right? And like this does seem like a pretty good candidate for doing that in a world where like Forza and Halo are kind of on the back burner somewhat.
Yeah, I can never remember if it's bullish or bearish. What is the good one?
Bullish is the like doing gangbusters. Bearish is the conservative one.
Like I'm not nearly as bullish on some of the other marquee Microsoft things that are currently in the hopper, like State of Decay 3. Sorry, Brad.
Oh man,
but I hope it comes out. But I'm not. I'm more bearish about that one.
You mean in terms of cancellation prospects?
Cancellation prospects, yeah. I actually put Fable pretty low down the list of games I think are gonna get canceled.
Yeah, my gut feeling is they're probably done canceling games for a while. I feel like this was the big cut.
We didn't put in the news here, but there was a story that was just coming out about them lowering the price on Outer Worlds 2.
I meant to mention that. They're going to refund, right? Aren't they going to refund people that put down the full $80?
Yeah, which I don't know. I guess I'll do the shitty answer that I shouldn't even say, but I'll do the shitty answer, which is they'll cancel Fable whenever the AI tells them it's smart to cancel Fable. You know, like that's the snarky, shitty answer at this point.
Dude, that Outer Worlds thing is crazy. It's like, wow, you figured out the hard way that you're not Nintendo, huh?
I don't know, man. I don't know what to read from that, except that like some of that news, if you're following it, you know, we're not even following it super closely. Like you said at the top of the news, we re-report a lot of stuff here, but some of that stuff seems a little rudderless and just like what's going on inside there, man. Like that's a weird egg on your face one that feels like it shouldn't happen.
Like that's pretty embarrassing, to be frank. Like that's just like sending a very strong signal they were not getting the pre-orders they wanted.
Or reading the market wrong. Anyway,
I hope
Fable comes out.
I really think the $80 thing threw some companies into disarray because they just weren't thinking about it. And then when they saw like Nintendo $90 Mario Kart and all that other stuff, like they're like, well, should we do this? I mean, we're Microsoft. It's a Microsoft game. Should we do this? But they didn't put enough thought into it before they tried to go forward with it. I think.
Like, you know, you've seen some hand wringing around like Borderlands, like 2K decided not to, you know, that's the $70 game as well. They didn't go for it there. Also, like, frankly, how many people are even spending $80 on Mario Kart? Like, I would guess the vast number or the majority of people that have Mario Kart World got it with their Switch for $50.
Probably.
Yeah.
So maybe this is not going to happen as rapidly as we thought.
Maybe. And look, like we said way earlier on, Donkey Kong's a hell of a game at 70. So, I really hope Fable. I'm really looking forward to Fable. So best of luck, and best of luck to everybody who's figuring it out inside Xbox Game Studios, because I think they make some great games. And look, I'm really looking forward to Grounded 2 as well. I want that to do well, and that's going into early access. So I really hate seeing all the news coming out of there that just seems like they're struggling to figure out their place in this market.
Yeah. I mean, I think like by all accounts, Game Pass was the big bet that they made a few years ago, and that hasn't reached the scale they need it to. And hardware sales are tanking, so they're just kind of like flailing, trying to figure out what's next.
Trying to figure it out. And I think, Alex, you mentioned offline, I think we were talking a little bit about before the show, the Brad made me know about this too. The PS5 stuff has been going well. Their sales on
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's outpaced PS4 in the same time frame.
Sorry, I don't mean console sales. I mean Xbox.
Like
Xbox.
That stuff, as far as I know, that stuff has generally been doing very well for them.
Yes, those games have been selling quite well.
Okay, and I guess that would make up for any that's the left hand right hand thing, right? Like any push were those people ever going to buy an Xbox console to get that system? Probably not, right? At that point?
Definitely not.
Yeah. So,
and it's just such a much bigger install base to sell to.
Yeah. Interesting times in that universe. All right. Any other emails?
Yeah, let's do one more here. Another Never Been a Better podcast follow-up.
Okay, great.
From Zach in Savage, Minnesota.
Okay.
Listening to the episode that got posted last week, I was struck by Alex and Austin's stories about the most ironic people possible getting caught embezzling money. This reminded me of my grade school when my school's DARE resource officer also... Are we old enough that we need to pause and explain what DARE was?
For anyone who doesn't know,
anymore,
DARE,
right?
it was an anti-drug program in the 80s where cops would basically come to your school and tell you it's not cool to do drugs.
Yeah,
more or
drug
less.
Abuse resistance education. Remember that?
Yeah, I was just looking it up. Okay,
that logo, that red, slapped on painted DARE logo is just so burned into my memory. That has to have been lampooned on a million T-shirts.
Oh,
right?
undoubtedly, yeah.
Okay. This reminded me of grade school when my school's DARE resource officer was arrested and found guilty of embezzling DARE funds to finance his ice cream store in town that was then used as a front for selling meth.
Yep. I mean, that one's sounding all the irony alarms. They're all going off right now.
His jacked up pickup truck was seized and turned into another DARE officer's DARE monster truck and would tour around the Tri-County area. Police Quest's Daryl F. Gates would be proud.
I need you people to understand America has always been this dumb. Always.
Yeah. Yes. Are
you
extremely?
I think it was on that podcast, right, Alex? I don't remember explicitly, but are you the one who was talking about the DARE Trans Am or something from the cop who would come?
That wasn't me. That might have been Austin. I think the
Austin.
embezzling thing might have been the thing I talked about. I don't remember because at one point my elementary school, the private school I went to from kindergarten to second grade closed because one of the parents embezzled a ton of money from the school and then just disappeared.
God damn.
Literally at the end of second grade, they're like, so we're not a school anymore. Good luck at public.
Is there, I guess I shouldn't be posing this question. I should probably know. There's still health class, I know, in the school, but I don't know if my kids have ever said they have had a similar DARE program.
I think the DARE thing is more or less dead. There are probably anti-drug programs that work in schools, but it is not that.
Okay, I'm on the DARE Wikipedia page and I'm scrolling through the history section and I have reached the subheading use of children as informants.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
I bet that went well.
Oh man.
Dude, what the fuck?
If you see something, say something.
Narc on your friends, dude.
I'm just going to read a random selection from that part of this page. Circa 1995, parents compared DARE to the late Weimar Republic in its installation of, quote, uniformed, sometimes armed agents of the state in classrooms to tell children what their attitudes ought to be and to obtain information about family home life which may be of interest to the state.
Jesus.
Literally, state.
Narc on your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Cultivating a culture of denunciation in the grade school.
I mean, there was a lot of things going on there about the war on drugs that are looked back at as completely fucked.
Listen, William S. Sessions told me that drugs are not cool, all right? It was at the beginning of every arcade game.
Yeah, winners don't use them.
Yeah.
I will say also, there were a lot of serious problems going on with how we addressed drug abuse in this country. There were a lot of problems. The answer to those problems were probably not to go just be like, drugs are bad.
No, I don't think the criminalization of addiction was really the direction we should have gone in.
Yeah. So there was a drug problem.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we had the answers. It definitely, look, maybe somewhere in there, if implemented right, a sick monster truck that's rolling into your school does work in a weird way.
Listen, when you need to fill a lot of private prisons, dealing with addiction at a non-criminal level is not going to solve that problem for you.
More monster trucks. Did you guys remember people coming in? I know, Alex, I think you mentioned yes, but Brad, do you remember DARE programs?
I vaguely remember a cop coming at least once to talk to the class, but it was pretty uneventful. I think they didn't like pass a baggie of weed around the class or anything like that.
Give it a little taste. Now you're all criminals. I own you all. Where's McGruff the crime dog? Is he still out there? In prison, embezzling in prison.
I have no. I think they dropped that as well at some point.
He and Smokey the Bear are just getting wasted every night.
No, man, Smokey the Bear is still out there letting you know at national parks what the fire danger is, okay? Like, he's still out there doing his thing. McGruff the crime dog, he took his pension, he fucking walked. He bought a boat, he's out of here.
He's living on a boat. McGruff is definitely living on a boat. Smokey, I don't know, have you checked recently with a lot of stuff going on in the parks department? I don't know if Smokey is...
True.
He's the one who runs the alt national parks Blue Sky account.
Smokey's doing layoffs.
Yeah.
It's grim.
Also, that account's not real. Don't take that as endorsement, okay? That thing is bullshit.
You can go to mcgruff.org.
Oh, no.
There's like web games on here.
Wait, McGruff is still out there?
I guess.
Taking a bite out of crime?
Welcome to my turf, a place to play games.
Turf? Okay, well.
Check out videos and learn how you can take a bite out of crime.
Great.
While we track your IP address.
I don't know if my kids need to take a bite out of crime.
Nah.
That's
someone else's job.
It's hard enough being a 10-year-old. I don't know if you have to take a bite out of crime. I'm going to say, worry about some other shit right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'll say, look, you can take a bite out of litter. Like, don't throw shit on the ground. But, like, you know what? A lot of fucking shit you have to worry about right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't want your 13-year-old chasing a meth head down the street. That's not really what you should be doing.
Or being like, I'm going to call the cops on you for doing illegal drugs. Sounds like a very Dan Reichert thing. I'm going to call the cops on you for doing illegal drugs. We know who you are. Mm-hmm. Damn straight you do. And you can come visit me at this address as well. I live down the road. Like, okay, kid. Yeah, you're going to go to jail and you're going to pay consequences because you're the bad guys and the good guys always win. I feel like we need a new lesson, is what I'm saying. And a new lesson is join the bad guys.
The new lesson is the old lesson, which is weed the narcs out of your friend group immediately.
You got to learn early.
Send those wheedly little nerds as far away from you as humanly possible. They cannot be trusted.
And then do not vote them into office 40 years later, please.
Optimally, no.
Yeah, optimally, no.
Yes. This email is the second time I have encountered the name Daryl F. Gates in the last 24 hours.
Were you talking about Police Quest recently?
No. I became aware. This is okay. Let's just talk about Ozzy next week on the Ramblecast. I've been like doing a lot of reading. I had never heard of the decline of Western civilization before.
Oh.
Like I had no idea what that was until I saw people posting clips of Ozzy in, I guess it's the second one.
Yeah, it's the second one.
I have to watch those movies now. Like those are basically like some documentaries, although it sounds like maybe Penelope Spheris was the director of those, and it sounds like she might have like fabricated little bits in here and there, but it's basically interviewing a bunch of musicians in the 80s.
I don't know how fabricated it is. It's definitely edited.
Or staged, maybe. Yeah. Kind of, yeah. Anyway.
But the first one is all punk rock. Like the very first one is like the 80s LA punk scene, and then the second one is the hair metal scene, and that is the one where the depravity is really kind of off the charts.
Like that's the one I think I really need to see.
Yeah, that one has I think Lemmy's in there. I think a handful of other like LA metal people are in there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, in 1981, LAPD Chief of Police Daryl Gates wrote a letter demanding the film not be shown again in the city.
It's way to be on the wrong side of everything, Daryl Gates.
Man just hated fun.
Yeah.
I mean, fun doesn't make the fun makes your job more interesting, which
fun doesn't fill private prisons, all right?
Or too much fun might. Yeah. It's on the wrong side of fun. You're on the wrong side of fun. All right. Speaking of fun, being on the wrong side of fun, I think that's going to do it for the emails.
Yep.
And the fun there.
Mm-hmm.
But the fun doesn't just... I don't know how to transition out of this.
This is not the only fun thing we do.
There you go. Fantastic. You can find more fun things over at patreon.com/Nextlander, where we have tons of fun going up. Speaking of Never Been a Better Podcast, we recorded our last one. That was a lot of fun. Dan Reichert gets into some explicit detail about cat ownership, which I was not necessarily prepared for, but fully embraced. So you can check that out. That should be going up next week towards the end of the month, getting it close to the end of the month there. We've got Watchcast back on track here after a week hiatus. We are going to hit some really fun episodes, or at least potentially fun episodes. I've never seen them. Talked about episodes. Alex, what do we have coming up next?
Well, coming up, we have The Trouble with Tribbles and the Gamesters of Triskelion. One of those episodes, which I think is just a top-to-bottom banger, and one that is at least highly amusing.
Okay, fair enough. So you can check that out also on the Patreon. We got Planorama we recorded. That'll go up next week. We've got the Ramblecast, which we mentioned before. Tons of things there. You can find a tier that not only supports us, gets you lots of goodies. Find a tier that is right for you. There is one tier there, though, that gets their name read on this here show, and that is the Mysterious Benefactor tier. Alex Navarro, would you do the honor of reading our Mysterious Benefactors for this week?
I'd be happy to. Our Mysterious Benefactors for this week are Jerry Lee, Sean Miller, Sending Good Vibes on the Internet, RRE, Alpha Rhythm, Infelicitous Rips, David L., Kelly F., Brian Lucier, Skywarp, Jason Grimm, John Hubbard, NXL Retirement Fund, Evan Cook, Mark Wilhelm, Jerry Lee, Deirdre Cascade Laboratory Intern, Gary Pejsky, Robert Fisher, Hashtag Bunny Crimes, Jad Rita, Statics, Brian Murphy, Randy Duax, Randy Alderson, Andrew Tiebkin, Alex Wu, It's Me JP, Edward Chick, Andrew Slosky, Steve Lynn, Matthew Herrig, David Campos, and Tyler Treese.
Thanks to our Mysterious Benefactors, and thanks to everyone who has supported us. Again, patreon.com/Nextlander. That is going to do it for the show. Whew, I feel like we're back. That's it. We're back. We're back in it for a little while here. We got the rest of the summer to check out some more stuff, play some games over on the site this week.
The site.
I'm
going to point it out every time you say it.
Yep. We got together with Will on Monday for that Night Rain stuff. We had a lot of fun there. You can check it out, see our new builds, our team composition, see if we're doing it the right way. On Tuesday, I played The Drifter with Abby. This coming Friday, Alex and I are going to get together, maybe jump into a bit of a grab bag, maybe check out some stuff we haven't looked at quite yet for Friday. And then we'll be back around again. Plenty of multiplayer stuff that I'd love to get into. Brad, it seems like we are in a bit of a cup runneth over on some multiplayer stuff. Abiotic Factor, Wild Gates, plenty to jump into there and check out and explore. So watch this space for that stuff. Thanks again to everybody for supporting us. Can't do it without you. Welcome back, Bradley Shoemaker.
Thank you.
Alex Navarro, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brad, thank you very much. Mm-hmm. We will be back with more of the Nextlander podcast next week. See ya.